Give me a D and a G. It's the Dawg and Gus Show. It's the Dawg and Gus Show.
Hey, coffee lovers, Dawg here to tell you about our favorite new brew, Green Army Coffee.
That's right, Dawg. Green Army Coffee isn't just delicious, it's coffee with a mission. They're veteran-owned, and every cup supports those who serve.
You can taste the dedication in every roast. Whether you're fueling up for the day or winding down, they've got the perfect blend for you.
And it's not just great coffee, it's a way to give back. Supporting Green Army Coffee means you're supporting our troops and their families.
So what are you waiting for? Grab a bag, sip smart, and support a great cause.
Check them out at www.greenarmycoffee.ca. Green Army Coffee, brewed for those who serve. Hey, Dawg, your beard's looking flickin' great, my man.
Thanks, Gus. I've been using the Bush Beard Wash.
The what now?
At Bush Beard, they know that every man with a beard is a unique beardo. And that's why they offer a wide range of products to cater to every beard's needs. Whether you have a long and luscious mane or prefer to keep it short and sharp, their products will help you achieve that perfect look.
From the nourishing beard oil and balm to the refreshing beard wash, their products are made with all-natural local ingredients to keep that beard healthy, soft, and lustrous. The beard comb and brush are designed to detangle and shape your beard, making sure you always look your best.
At Bush Beard, they're dedicated to providing the best possible grooming experience for all the beardos out there. So why settle for an average beard when you can have a glorious, well-groomed one? Try Bush Beard products today and unleash the full potential of your beard.
Be sure to use Dawg and Gus 10 and get 10% off your order.
Bush Beard, the small-town brand with the big old Canadian heart. Welcome to the Dawg and Gus Show.
Why did you almost forget again?
I didn't. I wanted to see what you'd do.
I was lost in airwaves for a couple seconds.
Oh, get over it. Jesus.
What do we got going on today, bud?
We're going to talk with Mr. Johnny Racine.
Nice. Johnny, what's shaking, man?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous, man.
Oh,
3
for the
weeks, man. It's
3
big.
weeks.
So I'm trembling in my boots now.
So it'll be 1 week from when this airs. So we'll just say in a week from now.
Wow, in 1 week from when this airs? Oh my goodness, man. There's a lot of hype, and I got a lot of people counting on me. So this has to be, it's good. I don't mind because you know what? It puts me, it puts things into perspective that, you know what? It gives me an energy that I can't let the people down. So yeah, it's cool. Still shaking though.
No doubt. So for people that don't want to know, like who want to know what's going to happen, can you explain what you're doing?
A lot of people are gonna die, man. It's the end. Oh no, wait, wrong interview. Sorry, man. It's the wrong place. Sorry.
Dog's
Long story
oddly
short,
okay with it.
I was diagnosed autistic at the age of 47. I'm now 50, and
Wow.
so yeah, it explained a lot about who I am and how things happen throughout my life. Music has always been my biggest passion. Ever since I could remember, as I'm rocking right now, it's just what I do. It's called stimming. Ever since I was a child, I would sit down and rock to the music. I was raised by a single mom, and my mom was a vocalist. So I would be, entertained by her and the bands that would come over. She was also involved with some MC guys. So I was raised also in the motorcycle culture. So hence why I own a motorcycle shop too. So I'm an avid motorcyclist. And then, well, I became a drummer, and I just love it. Like, I never stopped drumming. I started at the age of 12, and that's it. I'm now 50, and I'm still going at it. So I've always done charitable events for different things. This time I said, I want to do something really big. And I want it to be something that affects me, because now that I know what autism is, I had no clue what it was. Like, I kind of knew, but there was still that stereotypical, people think autism, they think, oh, kid going around doing this all day long, stuff like that, right? There's that stereotypical image of what people think. And then, because I was asked in 2010 I was suggested to be tested by a psychiatrist, and I just, yeah, that was me. Yeah, no, I can't. It's impossible. So I want to bring awareness to it. And I also thought by doing that, well, I'm challenging myself, but I'm also showing what we can do as autistic people, because I started doing a lot of work in the autism community and doing research about, who's out there that's famous, that's autistic. And man, the amount of autistic musicians and actors that are out there, writers and other kinds of performers, is it's outstanding. And I go, man, that it explains a lot about certain people. So by raising awareness, it helps to raise awareness of what it is, and that the spectrum is very wide and it's almost endless from one end to the other. And by doing that too, I also want to raise funds for Ability Dogs Canada, because I was looking at different charities, different places where I could go. Where could the funding go, and how could it benefit someone or a few people? And I thought, I spoke with some different charities, and then Ability Dogs Canada happened to be owned by my now girlfriend Samantha, but she was a client, and even before this, she was just a client, and she owns Ability Dogs Canada. She's the founder, and they do have an autism program where they train service dogs for people who are autistic. It could be for anxiety, could be for seizures, lots of other things. And then when she told me what the cost of a dog was for one individual, which is upwards of $20,000, and I thought, like, oh man, like that's a huge cost, right? And there's not much help out there for that. Someone's got to cover that. So I thought, by doing this event, I thought this is cool. So I went out and looked at, well, what's a world record for someone who's drummed, played a drum set nonstop. I looked it up on the Guinness World Record books, and it was 150 hours and 1 minute.
Wow.
So I said, okay, well, you know what? I said, yeah, let's do this. I said, I think that by doing this, it's something big that will attract a lot of attention, that will show determination as well, how determined I am and how determined autistic people are when they're hyper focused on what they can do. Because that's one of our superpowers, is being hyper focused on something. We just zoom in on something, and there's nothing that can distract us from it. And at the same time, trying to raise money for Ability Dogs Canada, and hopefully having a service dog for someone who really needs it. Because the service dogs play a very vital role in everyone's lives that have a service dog, right? The blind people, people with PTSD. A lot of veterans have service dogs. People who are epileptic, which is common with people who are autistic, stuff like that. So spoke with a few people, and my brother, Scotty, who's, him and I have been friends for a long time. We've done charitable events at the Brass Monkey, and he just said, you know what? He goes, tell me, here's my dates that are open. What do you want? I was like, what? Yeah. So the Brass Monkey is basically our title sponsor, because they're giving us the place from January 27th until February 7th.
That's wild.
So I'm going to be in there on the 27th. We have a launch party that night with several other musicians coming out, and so that evening is just a launch party. We're going to have, we're sending out a press release. So between 4 and 7 on the 27th, we're going to have all the media people there. People who want to do Q&A, people who want to meet us, if our sponsors want to come down. And then on February 28th at 7 p.m., I'm going to be on the drum kit, and the clock starts.
Wow.
The guidelines, as per Guinness, is so I have to play continuously, nonstop. I have to play along to music tracks that are known. So I've been creating a playlist, and I run it through my system, a software that I call Moises. That's what it does. It removes any instrument I want from any track. So I've been busy doing that. For every 1 hour of playtime, I get a 5-minute break, and I can bank the 5-minute breaks.
Okay.
So, I'll try my best to do 12, 14-hour stints of just playing and then have an hour and a half break or something where in that hour and a half I can do what I want. So I can grab a power nap, have some food, caffeinate myself with Red Bull, and get back on stage and start all over again.
That's insane.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's so awesome, though.
It is. It's cool. And I thought to myself, like, man, what am I going to do for, like, my goal is 162 hours.
Wow.
I have to beat the 150 no matter what. And I thought,
Yeah.
like, man, this is going to be intense because I'm allowed to play whatever songs I want, but the songs can't be repeated in a 4-hour period. So
Okay.
I've created 2 5-hour playlists with songs that are fairly simple enough that I really don't have to put out a whole lot of energy.
Yeah.
But then I was also thinking about, well, I like to draw energy from the people, and it's nice to have a crowd out. And I also want to get people into the brass because, number one, well, it helps the brass monkey. We're going to get more donations because we're going to do 50-50 draws. We've got some of our sponsors, namely Sabian is one of my sponsors. Ava Drums is one of my sponsors. Kaboom Comics. We've got Long and McQuaid. My goodness, we've got a union involved. We've got more coming that will be labeled this week. A lot of them have given us cash. Some have given us, like Sabian's giving me cymbals. Long and McQuaid is going to be giving us drum stuff that I'm going to sign, and that'll be raffled off once it's, we put in a silent auction, or I'll sign some drumsticks that I use for an hour and then, toss them to someone. And then I thought about creating a theme night. So I created several different theme nights just to break up the monotony of having, the same 2 sets playing over again, but having people in where I can draw the crowd. So I have a 70s disco night, which will be just me playing 4 hours of just 70s disco nonstop. So, wear your bell bottoms and tight tops and get in there and get your boogie down, right?
Yeah, get them out, dog. Get them out.
Yep.
Never
And
wore
then
bell bottoms.
we have an 80s night, probably just playing 80s music. I've got a rockabilly night. So, and then I created another evening because my dog is a Boston Terrier. So I called it Queen Kiss the Boston, which means I'm going to be playing Queen, Boston, and Kiss all night.
Unreal.
Yeah, guy.
I mean, we could
And
end
a
the show
family
right
day
now.
as well, where I'm going to be playing all sorts of animated movie themes, so the families can come over, and we're possibly
wild.
working with Chio on that one too. So
Ooh.
there's
That's
lots in the works.
amazing.
It's a big thing. It's huge.
Yeah, let's go back to your launch party. Tell us a little bit about who's going to be helping you out that night.
So we are going to have. I got amazing people coming. So Aaron Maiden and Jeremy Williams.
Yeah.
Know him well.
You know them well. They will be performing with me. JP Prue will
Mhm.
be there. He'll be performing. Him and I went to high school together, so we've known each other for a very long time. Then I've got Catalina Goya, which is Kathleen Grady Thompson and Gregory Smithers are going to be coming out. So they'll do a couple of their own tunes, and I'll be jamming along with them. Renato Valentino will be there as well. He likes to do a lot of Sammy Hagar, Dio, stuff like that, Led Zeppelin. So I'll be performing with him. And then I have a rock progressive guitarist, Roxanne, who's just another guitarist extraordinaire who wants to do some Rush covers. So we'll be covering some Rush too. So we got some Iron Maiden, we got some Beatles, we got some Rush, we got all sorts of things happening that night with all these great musicians.
I think it'd be important to have some people join you because you can keep that. They'll bring energy, and it'll keep you up too. Because it is
I can't do that. That's why I created the launch party.
Yeah, it's a launch party. He's got to do the drummings by himself.
The drumming, when I
okay.
drum by myself with the tracks, I did ask Guinness if I was allowed to have musicians join me on stage just for whatever. Absolutely not.
Wow. Okay. So
I have to play to the tracks, and that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is
So
there
that's
somebody
why-
from Guinness that's going to be there?
No, so well, sort of. So what we do is I have to name some officials who are going to be officials to Guinness. Um, Everything has to be video recorded, audio recorded. So my whole studio is coming with me. So that's all going to be set up. We're also putting this on YouTube Live, so it's going to be broadcast 24/7. So
Unreal.
what they want is I have to have a logger, and the logger so anybody who's there as a volunteer cannot work more than 4 hours. So every 4 hours we got to rotate the volunteers. So we're going to have someone who's going to two officials who are going to start the clock and stop the clock when it's done. Then we have an official who works for a 4 hour shift to log everything. So they're logging from this time to this time. He's playing this time to this time. He's taking a break. Everything's logged. Everything's there. Everything's photographed. Everything's recorded. And then, so that's how everything's going, right? Everything's documented, recorded, and then I have to send all this proof to Guinness. They do everything. They want all the media coverage. Like they're going to want what we're recording now. They're going to say, I want a link to that. We want to see it. They want to see everything, and everything gets put into their thing. And then they go, yeah, you broke the record. And that's how it works.
Here's your plaque.
The current record holder is a drummer in the UK. And him, it was sort of the same. He did something to raise money for his wife was suffering from MS or something like that, and that's what he did.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So I think it's cool. And before him was a Canadian who had it, and I thought, you know what? Let's bring this back to Canada.
Take
Let's
it back.
show what Canadian drummers do.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love it.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's so amazing that you're committing to it. Obviously, we're pulling for you. We're going to share everything. We're going to share the link to the YouTube live. But anyways, like, I'm so proud of you, first of all, to take this on.
Well, thanks.
And Dawg can probably tell I'm getting a little giddy because I love things that are for purpose. And I didn't know a lot about autism until I met really Dawg, because Dawg works with autistic kids. Yeah,
There you go.
and I just think this is so wonderful.
It is. He's awesome. It's going to be great. I'm
Yeah,
going to try and spend as much time as I can there too.
you're gonna go
Oh, of course I'm going.
go for breakfast, then
Yeah.
come back for dinner, and then yeah, that's amazing,
Hey,
man.
if you guys want to broadcast from there, you're more than welcome. I don't care.
Well,
it's an
we
open
may
place.
we'll figure something
Yeah,
out
we're
where
gonna-
we can
we'll
do a
definitely
live or something like that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a chat from there. That'd be fun.
24 hours a day, man. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I'll be there.
pick one of the 10 days,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 10, 8, 7.
So, well, he's there from the 27th
He
of
wants-
January till February 7th.
Yeah, he wants so 9 to 8 days.
Yeah.
So because he wants to do 160, right?
Hold
So-
on. You keep talking. I want to check something.
Okay,
You
we'll
go
keep
right
talking.
ahead.
I'm going to do that.
Who is the
You can't
greatest
stop me.
drummer of all time?
For me,
In
Yeah.
your opinion, yeah.
it's Neil Peart.
Yeah.
Yes, guy.
He
Favorite.
is my biggest inspiration, was Neil. And then after that, I would have to say Rod Morgenstein, Mike
wow.
Portnoy, Mike Mangini,
Wow. You
all
didn't.
those progressive guys.
Yes, you didn't mention the one that usually comes in the same breath as Neil Peart.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about Phil Collins?
Yeah, him. No, I was talking about
Bonzo.
Bonzo.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was never a Zeppelin fan. Not a big fan.
Fair enough.
I don't mind their radio tunes, but I could never get into everything. It's not that I dislike. It's just I kind of get lost in it, and I can't seem to. A little too weird for me.
That's fair.
The long interludes that last 10 minutes in between songs is kind of I kind of get lost.
That's fair.
So not much for the progressive rock then.
Well, that's what Rush is. Rush is progressive.
Yeah.
man.
So yeah, but I mean, it's like so is Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Hey,
Yeah.
I have Carl Palmer snare.
Nice.
It's
I
cool,
love
man.
that guy.
Yeah, I remember we went to see them. They came to Ottawa. I can't remember when it was, but it was at the Congress Center, and I went with Doug, a guy that we both know, and another buddy who's a drummer. And Keith Emerson is just like, he's insane. The man is insane. Like, he's playing upside down on his Moog synthesizer. He pulls out a Bowie knife, sticks it into a key, and he keeps playing. He never misses a beat upside down. But the kid, the other guy that was with us was the drummer, and he was like, how's he doing that? For Carl Palmer. Like, he's like, how did he do that? Holy crap, how did he do that? It was just fun to watch the drummer watching the drummer, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah.
What about Brand X? You like them?
Yeah.
It's its own special thing.
For sure.
Just
But
like
I would-
Primus.
Yes, I got turned on to Paul Emerson, Lake and Palmer back when I was working with friends, and I was like, because I'm always like, tell me something, give me something else to listen to. And once I started listening to it, I was like, oh, I'll get that album and that album and that. I'm now I have pretty much all of their albums.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost everybody's
that's pretty
album.
cool.
Period.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm holding.
Uh-oh.
He's going to show us something. Oh, does he have pants on?
Yes.
He did say he'd wear
You
pants.
have pants on.
He did say he would wear pants today.
Always bringing the snare over.
Oh.
Well, one of many that I have. So this is the Carl Palmer special.
Nice. Uh-oh.
Because I don't know if it'll. But anyways, that's his signature snare. It's the Ludwig. So
Very
that's
cool.
one of many that I have that are signatures. So yeah.
Very cool.
I love those guys.
Yep.
Super cool.
Me too.
As cool as our neon falling on the
A neon sign falling down when you. Cool.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll keep going.
Yeah. We're professionals.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Of course. Oh, there's my dog. He wants to say hi.
Bring him in.
You want to say hi? Come here. Come on. You gonna say hi?
There,
Say
there
hello.
he is.
That's Brembo.
Hey, Brembo.
Look in the camera.
He's like, I hear voices, but I don't know where they're coming from.
it's my. He's not a service dog, but I'll tell you that he helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet. He's a
Keeps me
beauty.
sane. Yep.
Yep. He is a beauty.
So you, Dave, you work with autistic kids. You were saying.
Yes, I work in the school system. So I work one-on-one every day with individuals who are on the spectrum.
That's pretty incredible of you to do that, because it takes a lot of patience, and it also takes a lot of dedication as well, and understanding, because even myself, it's been 3 years now. I'm still learning about myself.
Mhm.
I'm still going back to my past and going, man, everything's making. Every day I get an aha moment. Oh shit, this is why this happens. So, and again, the reason why I'm doing this is raise awareness, right?
Mhm.
So kudos to you for that, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. What?
I thought I heard Elvis there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Elvis.
Yep. Elvis is a good guy. Good guy. He's all right. Yeah. I have no questions. I wrote down no questions for today.
Well, we need some help here.
You need some help here? No, you're fine.
Ask me
fine.
anything, man. I'm an open book.
He's an open book.
Well, with this performance coming up, I mean, it must be, nerve wracking to say the least.
Yeah, it is.
What other performance have you done that's been as anxiety filled?
I would have to say, when I toured some casino circuits, I was in a big band. We were 15 members. We were covering all 70 stuff. Plus, we did 68 Elvis comeback special section, and then the Vegas Elvis as well. So that was all in one big performance. And having so many people, we had a horn section and 5 different vocalists. And when you're performing, I know it's just a casino, but man, when you got a lot of people in there and you're paid professional wages to do this, it becomes a little nerve wracking, especially when you're doing it one night after another. It's to me, I was getting nervous just out, like, am I going to be able to survive this? Like, this is 3 hours of solid playing, then back to another 3 hours. It's to me, that was nerve wracking. And, especially when you're the drummer and you're carrying that many people, I've got to push that beat through, man. They're all relying on me to, You know, that's 15 people who, to me, that was my biggest challenge.
Yeah,
But
no
I did
doubt.
it for 6 years and I loved it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's intense.
Now, when you're going to be doing these tracks for the shows, I'm assuming it's going to be all stuff that we recognize, right?
Yeah, it has to be recognizable music. So what I've done is I have some different playlists. The first playlist I'm going to have is all music from 1968 to 1974.
You won't know any of it.
It's not true.
So there's all sorts of stuff in there, you know,
I
from
tease.
the Beatles to there's some Led Zeppelin to Deep Purple to everything. Everything's in there, so it'll please everyone. But it's also stuff that I know offhand that I can just zoom through without a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Second set, well, we're probably going to go 80s, 90s.
Ooh,
Nice.
we like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a question that will come up to eventually.
Yep,
It's music, man.
Yeah.
it's
exactly.
music, man. Drumming. Go ahead. I'm thinking of something.
If you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be? Anybody on Earth, or alive or dead?
Alex Lifeson, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I love his style of playing, and I love who he is as a person. He's so comedic. He's so funny, so creative in so many different ways, not just progressive in different ways. When I listen to his solo albums or the stuff that he's doing with his other bands, it's just incredible what this guy does. He's got so many different. It's like his guitaring, his guitarists. He's got different personalities of guitaring. You know what I mean? He's not a one trick pony, and I like that. You know, I'll play jazz, I'll play fusion, funk, rock, metal. And I like someone who's versatile who can do that. And I think that he's one of the guitarists who can do all that stuff. He's modest.
Yeah.
Canadian, eh?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, being Canadian.
It's funny because you talk about underrated guitar players, and his name does come up because he is underrated.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like the amount of stuff that and like you said, like Johnny said, just the different genres and stuff that he does do.
Yeah.
Now, when you're playing, when you're going to be doing like, you know, your 68 to 70 stuff, do you have a different mindset than if you're going to be playing your 80s and 90s stuff? Are you a different animal?
I am. Because what I try to do is anything I cover, I really try to get into the mentality of that music, which is what allows me to go, okay, you know, you got the psychedelic sounds or something. Okay, let me get into that mode. Let me get into that chill out mode and try to get that feel, right? I do that with every song. So if I'm playing metal, I'm like a hyper guy behind the drum kit, you know, the angry faces and just like really power slamming and stuff. And then the other stuff, you know, I could be sitting there hitting really light. It's all about the feel for me. The feeling is really what I want to capture. And when I listen to the songs, it just goes right through me, and that's what I do. That's why I think having an eclectic playlist is important for me. I can really get into different things, and I love just doing them all. I love like, okay, yes, I'm a progressive drummer first, but I need to play everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what makes me who I am in my style of drumming. I'm unique, and that's what I like about anyone who's like that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, being unique is cool.
I wouldn't know.
You're very unique. The thing I want to ask you though, how hard will it be for you to hold back when you know that you have to do it for so long? Like you'll have, you know, because your natural tendencies probably is to, you know, speed it up or go hard or, you know, you know what I mean? Like, so how are you what's your mental focus? Like, obviously, you mentioned, you know, being autistic, you do hyper focus on things, but natural tendencies will come through and eventually you'll be like, somebody should be there just to say, yo, chill
out a bit.
Yeah.
That is a really good question. I am so used to performing, right? And performing live is, you got to put on a visual show as well. It's important, right? No, I've seen drummers that in live that just look like a hot potato behind a drum kit, and it's boring. Yeah, he's a good drummer, but man, he's boring to watch. I could have just sat at home and listened to the record, and to me, it was the same thing. It's just that's why you go out. So yes, I am very used to like putting on. I want to exacerbate that feeling and really get it out. It might be a little hard, but I think as well, I'm really focused on the my eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
My focus is to not let anyone down. And I have to work really hard mentally to sit there and go, okay, just tap lightly. You don't have to, just as long as I'm keeping the beat. I gotta focus on that hard. Yeah, I'm sure at some point I might want to let loose, but again, someone like you said, there's always going to be someone there, and I'm sure someone might have to say, dude, you might want to, you got another 3 hours before you have a break coming up, so you might want to chill out a bit and save the energy. And that's part of what I want to do too. When the theme nights will allow me to let loose, because the people will be in there and I'll be able to feed off that energy and give it back to them. So that's sort of like, it'll be sort of like a recess for me, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it'll be back to, okay, I can chill out. And once I do a theme night, I think that will help me chill out after, because I would have burnt a lot of that energy and go, okay, now it's time to just get back to the other playlist and just play softly. So I'm hoping that's what it is. But a lot of this is, touch and go. I think the first 24 hours is where I'm really going to be, coming into trial and error. How am I going to do this? And, okay, don't do this because your tendency to overdrive yourself or something, right?
Yeah.
I've drummed for 8 hours, 9 hours, no problem, but I've never done something like this. So a lot of this I seriously think the first 24 hours is going to be a learning curve for me.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
it's like Gus said too. It's good to have somebody there to say, Johnny.
I would think.
Absolutely.
And my thinking is like, yes, you're playing to the crowds when on the theme nights when they're there.
Yep.
But you're going to have to reset when they're not.
Exactly. And it might be easier, like I was saying, after the theme night when, the bar closes down, people are going home and I'm just back to my track. I'm hoping that I would have, burnt off enough energy and hype that I can say, okay, I want to do this now. I want to chillax and give my body a break as well. I am not 20 years old. I am 50. So yeah, I do have a bit of arthritis here and there, but so it could be tough. It might not be. I can't, I'll guess, you know what? I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah,
my main thing is to just not stop drumming.
Yep.
I got to keep going. And the one thing that Guinness made clear in the guidelines is that my breaks have to be on the hour. I can't say, okay, I played for an hour and a half, I got a 7-minute break. It doesn't work like that. It's got to be on the hour. So I really got to set myself up to a schedule. I might do my first stint and say, you know what, let's see if I can do 6 hours straight and then take, whatever amount of time I'm allotted to, and then get back on and see how that goes and try to go a bit longer, sort of soak myself in a little bit and see how it goes.
Yeah, makes sense. And also, I think the key too is to not overdo it at the beginning. Do that 6 hours and then be like really committed to that, and then like say, okay, I feel great, but I'm taking the break, and then
exactly,
what I mean, like,
yep.
and then the last 6 hours, just fucking give her.
I do have a plan for the last once the record is broken, and I do have a plan where I, whatever amount of time it is that I break, and I decide to say, okay, I'm probably good for another 5-6 hours, but then I need to call it. That's just what I'm hoping, is that I'm going to have a special playlist for that hasn't been played that I'm going to use just for the ending. That'll, and my team will also know that, okay, this is it. This is now the final countdown. And this is where, hey, maybe I should just start with that song, start with the final countdown and say, hey, this is it. This is the last 6 hours before I bugger off here.
Yeah. Before I sleep for 4 days.
Yeah. I was asleep the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, it just popped into my head when you were talking about that. I was just all of a sudden I'm thinking Cat's Claw. It's a drum solo from Jerry Mercer from Maple Wine. I'm thinking that would be, that would be. There we go.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Or
if
in
you're
a Gata
taking,
de
if you're
Vida.
taking requests, oh yeah, Dawg and Vida, yeah, that's great.
Hey,
Dawg and Vida.
in the Gata de Vida, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll do a couple of those. Yeah. The reason I wanted to do the other thing too is by doing the launch party the night before. I think what's going to be good is that that entire day I'll be pretty busy because I've got someone who's dedicating themselves as my drum tech to come here and take the kit apart. The moving company's coming over here to grab everything, bring it over to the brass, set up. And then between 4 and 7, we're going to have the media there and, meet and greet and all that. But then because after that's done and I'm done, we're all done performing, I'm really hoping that, the next few hours will get me to wind down. I'm going to rent a hotel room in Ottawa, go to the hotel after and be able to just soak in a bath, relax, and get a really good night's sleep before I go back to brass and say, okay, now I've rested, because I know that when I played all evening, man, I sleep so well. I always have sleep problems, and that's typical with autism. It's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
It's, our sleep patterns are never the same. So I know for a fact that when I put on a show all night, I'm going to sleep well. Once I've unwound, it'll be out like a light and wake up and then back at the brass for, 4 o'clock before I start, and then start going at it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you need. You need to do the complete reset, get ready, and then just not sleep without thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that like?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know either anymore. I have no freaking clue.
I would like to know.
I sleep pretty good, actually.
I don't.
Yeah, I have young kids, so I chase them around all day, and then
I chase kids around all day too. And I still don't sleep well.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. Well, you probably don't know how to wind her down, but you need some sleepy time tea.
Sleepy time. I need to drum for 160 hours.
What? I might take a Gravol or something before going to bed just to give me a little assistance. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes
somebody could just need a wake up call. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come get you.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people there to help me wake up and smack me in the face. And here's a can of Red Bull, and off you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that. You don't want too much of that stuff either.
No, I've had a conversation with my doctor and some other medical professionals, and did a lot of research on how to prep for this mentally, physically, and during what are the best foods to eat that will give me the energy I need but not weigh me down. I did some research too on the energy drink stuff. So the two that come out on top because of the B vitamins they have and the extra things that we do need that we burn off. So Red Bull is one of them. I'm trying to remember the other one was called. It wasn't Monster. It was NOS. NOS and Red Bull came out on top with the amount of B vitamins that they have.
Okay. Which
is what is really required when you want to stay awake. That with the caffeine and the taurine. And the other thing I've done too is I'm not a coffee guy. I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning and that's it. The rest of my day I'll have a couple of cups of tea. But I've even reduced my tea intake just to try to not be too adapting to the caffeine. Yeah. So that when I do need the caffeine, if I want to pop like a wake up pill or something, it'll affect me greatly. It'll be like, bing, I'm awake, okay, and go for another 5 hours and go from there. Yeah. I know what fruits and vegetables to eat and what to avoid. Yeah. That's important. Bananas are important. At one point, I thought maybe I would get a few cans of Ensure, and then I was advised that no, it's a big no-no.
Yeah, you shit yourself.
It's too much. There's way too much protein. Yeah. And it's really designed for people who don't eat at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a supplement.
If anything, it'll weigh me down and constipate me.
Yeah.
Well, that's, we don't want a drummer who's full of shit on stage, right?
Well, isn't that normal?
No, we don't want that.
If any of the musicians that are out there, it's the drummer that's usually not full of shit.
No, they're usually the coolest.
Yeah.
I think you also have to be aware of diuretics too, right? Like you don't want to be drinking stuff that's going to make you need to go to the washroom a lot.
You can have a pee pot. Get a pea pot in there and you'll be fine.
Well, I am I am going to have some adult diapers
Damn,
in
man.
case there's a
He's
trickle.
thinking all this stuff
Oh
through,
my
brother.
God.
In case there's a trickle. No,
Yep.
it's yeah, in case there's a trickle. But the good thing though is that because I'm staying active, that helps a lot,
Mhm.
right? So hydration won't really be a problem as long as I'm drinking as required. Not
Yes.
I'm only going to drink when I'm thirsty. I'm not going to overdo it and go, okay, I'm going to slam 12 bottles of water now and go. No, I'm going to have whatever drink is beside me ready to go with a straw, and someone can feed it to me. And same with food. If I get hungry or something, someone can hand me a carrot or something, because carrots are really good in energy. They got some sugars, and so it's all about, finding, and my girlfriend Samantha, well, she's vegetarian, so she can prep some really good vegetable stuff for me, and which is good. So I'm really planning, and I got some people who are like, someone tonight said, I'm going to make a lasagna, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I won't eat it all. I'll have a small piece, because in noodles, man, there's a lot of carbs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's almost like
But
you're training for
it's
a
good
marathon.
energy.
It is a
when you're
marathon,
active.
man. It's 160
Yeah.
hours of drumming.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get into is a state of ketosis. You're going to be like,
Yes.
your body's going to start doing the right things with
Yep.
what's in there.
Exactly.
It's actually, it's almost like you're doing a cleanse. Look at it as a cleanse, and then it'll be a different
To music.
Yeah.
I was warned. I was not warned. I was told that that's probably what's going to happen, and I'm all for it, man. I could lose a few pounds, so I'm okay with that.
Well, you're going to lose weight.
You can lose a little bit.
And also, but I think
I
the
got reserves.
ketosis is really going to be cool for you, because you'll be in this like crazy state of focus. And I know that you're already hyper focused with what you're dealing with and what everybody that has autism deals with. But I think that it's actually going to be, I'm like stoked about that part. I want to have you, we'll have you on live, and then just say, like, we'll have you on our live Instagram and just sort of talk about what happened after. Cause it would just be like,
what? We should do a way in and a way out.
There you go.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Just to see how much weight I've lost. And
that would be interesting to do.
I'm gonna say you're gonna lose like 15 to 20 pounds, dude.
I wouldn't doubt it. I was told by my doctor, I was told not to do too much weight loss before.
Yeah, that's good.
Because, fat is a reserve of energy, right? And
for sure.
I'm going to need some of it sometimes. And it's
100%.
normal for the body to go, yeah, I'm hungry. I'm going to go there and get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So
that's where ketosis happens, by the way.
Exactly.
It's going to be like,
exactly right. You're eating yourself. That's what you're doing.
We should do like a
Your body's
UFC
eating
weigh-in.
itself, man.
Dude, like come out with you as a, come out, weigh in and then weigh out. Yeah, I think that's amazing. Yeah. You won't be able to walk on fucking the end, but it'd be good. You'll be like,
it's okay, man. We got wheelchairs. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. But you're gonna crush it, man. Like, I think this is so exciting for you, and I am stoked. Excited. I'm like stoked about this. Super stoked.
It is my life's biggest challenge. Aside from raising my kids, this is my life's biggest challenge.
Yeah, but what a legacy, bro. Like, I think that's going to be so.
I hope so.
Yeah. No.
There's no hope.
You're doing it, buddy. You're in. Like, there's no.
Thank you. I love the inspiration. You know what? It's important to me that, the people are around who want to inspire and want to see this happen, because being autistic, we are, part of autism is really set the goal, and we want to do this. And we're like, the hyper focus just says, you're going to freaking do this no matter what it takes. Right.
That's right.
And it's incredible what we can achieve. Well, anybody can, right, when they set their mind to it. But for me, it's important that I do this for so many reasons other than this. And I made a decision that every year, so there's another drummer who I got who's been in contact with myself. I'm not going to say his name right now, but he's a famous Canadian drummer too, and he's helping out in different ways. And he does an event every year where he does a 24-hour drumming marathon. And he was speaking to me saying, man, he goes, I do the 24-hour one. And he goes, I don't know how the heck you're going to do this, but like, I want to go there. I want to see this. And he's helping us out. And like, he's really, he's hands-on in an indirect way. And I love this guy's support. And I thought to myself, you know what? If I can pull this off, and I know I will, I thought, what is stopping me from doing a 24-hour marathon every year for charity? And really but not something for Guinness. This would allow me to do more like a 24-hour marathon open jam. I'm your drummer for the next 24 hours. Get your instruments, get yourselves in here. Let's raise money, and let's just have the world's longest open jam.
That'd be cool too.
We like.
Well, we got to get you through the 160 first, and then we'll plan the next one.
No, it's good that he's focused and looking
Oh, I
ahead.
love it.
Yeah,
Love
but,
it.
I mean,
I got it, man. This gives me goals, man, and I need that in life.
Yeah, we all do.
It's important to me. So, and this cause is important to me because it affects me. And I know what it's like having grown up, been bullied, and being different from someone, but not knowing why, and trying to fit in and masking. I'm sure, Dave, I'm sure you know all about masking. I'm sure a lot of these kids still do that sometimes.
Yep. Well, the like you said, the spectrum goes both ways, right? So like,
Yep.
For the most part, we're working on this one end of the spectrum, but they're quite capable, like you said, of doing anything they put their mind to. And the only people holding them back are some of the educators that are just saying, no, they can't do that. It's like, no, they can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just got to find the way that they learn and focus on that learning instead of thinking, well, this is
That's
how
the
I
key.
learned. This is how I
That is
learned.
the
You
key.
should learn. Why aren't you learning this way? Because they learn differently. And everybody's different in the way that they process information and figure stuff out.
Exactly. And it's important too, because, and what's important too is finding what we love.
Mhm.
Because when we find that thing we love, man, there's no stopping us, right? It doesn't matter what it is. So many autistic people, some of them are amazing visual artists. Some of them are just writers, right? And that's what they do. It's their passion. They're so into it. Me, it's the drumming. I just absolutely love it. I've been gobbling it up since I was a kid. Music for me is just, it's me. It's who I am. Without my music, I'm very sad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very sad. I'm actually in a state of depression if I don't play drums for long periods of time. I get depressed.
It's crazy that like for your age, right? Like and obviously finding this out later in life, there wasn't that support for you growing up like there is now.
No.
I mean, I'm sure there's still hindrances, but I think that for the most part, it's certainly better than it was back then, I would think. You would know better than I would, Dawg, but I think that it's still probably looked at as, why aren't you learning this way? Without the sensitivity aspect of it with what's going on. But as a younger guy, you would have obviously, you mentioned bullying, it was a different time. I mean, I'm 44 and you're 50. So we saw bullying, I was bullied as a younger guy too, but eventually you just kind of grew into it. I don't know. It's hard to say because I love that you're the good thing that you're doing is not only does the disease helped you resolve what was going on, but it might have given you some closure too, I think, in a way.
It did. And if I may correct you, it's not a disease.
Okay. Sorry.
Autism is actually a gene. It's
okay.
I don't have autism. I am autistic. Is how we like to.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'd rather be corrected.
No, it's
than
just
not
so
know
you know what. This is what part of raising awareness is, right? Is educating people on what autism actually is and what being autistic is. We talked about bullying too, and I was bullied when I worked in the government. I was an IT guy in the government for 15 years. And I was bullied. I was laughed at. My manager laughed at me because I rocked in my chair while I did all my stuff on my computer, taking care of the network and all that. And because I thought differently than they did, I would find a problem. They're like, no, you can't do that. And I'd be like, but fuck, why? I don't get it, man. See, our way of thinking is very black and white. We don't usually have a middle. It's yes or no, this and that. And that's pretty much it, right? We speak very directly too. We speak our minds pretty direct. It's and some people don't like that sometimes because we'll call out something and they'll go, well, no. And I go, well, that's what I saw.
Yeah, no.
The filters are not usually there.
Well, I'm glad I got educated. That's what I would take it as, and I want to be educated. So
well, I like this quote. Steve Earle has a son who's autistic, and the quote that I liked from him was, you meet one person with autism, you've met one person with autism.
Yeah, you
So,
haven't met
like,
them all. Exactly.
Exactly. You've met one
Yep.
person.
Yeah.
You haven't
Yep.
met
Yep.
everybody. Everybody. Like,
Exactly.
it's your personality. You're different. Oh, you have autism? Yes, but that's not all of me.
No,
That's a part of me.
It doesn't define who I
No,
am.
exactly.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, so you are neurotypical, I'm neurodivergent. Just like you guys, you all have different personalities, right? Some are good, some are bad, just like us. They talk about autism saying, we're really big on social justice and stuff like that. Yeah, but there have been some people who are autistic who turned out to be murderers, and we have just as much the traits, right? But we do have a lot of the generic traits that we all seem to come together with, right? With social anxieties, general anxiety is a really big thing. Hyper focus, but some people it's like they don't talk until they're older. They don't talk at all.
Mhm.
There's, it's like you said, the spectrum is just it's incredible. I've met many autistic people since my diagnosis, and it's like, man, talking to them, and I compare some to my stuff, and I go, man, I got off pretty good with some of that stuff because I don't have those traits, but we relate a lot on some of the traits that pretty much affect us all. Eye contact is one of the big things for anyone with autism. It burns us. It's literally burning my eyes. It hurts me to do, especially if it's someone I know, I get used to it. But when I meet someone, I just can't. I can't look at them in the eyes and talk to them. It's impossible for me to do it. It hurts me. And that's one of the things that's very big in the autistic community.
There's a few that are just it's just like you say. It's I'm just thinking of all the individuals that I've worked with and stuff, and it's so very true. And the hyper focusedness, like I've met a few, and in retrospect, like you say, sometimes like, yep, definitely on the spectrum because this person is amazing at this, and then couldn't carry on a conversation about football.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of other people are like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. But for some of my friends that I've known for a long, it's like you want to talk. It was like, when we talk to people, when you find that interest, boom, there they go.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to watch, and it's fun to watch when they start to talk about something they're excited about.
Yeah. I mean, I got excited.
You can see the excitement, right? Because we are passionate about it, and we're very knowledgeable about it because we dove into this, and we go as deep as, like, for me, mechanics as well, right? I'm a motorcycle mechanic too, but I've been doing that all my life too. But when I get into something, it's, man, I want to know everything about it, everything. And then I love to share that knowledge. It's like a transfer of knowledge that we love to do. We thrive on that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, actually.
I'm just smiling because today I just started working with a new student today, and he was I'm just getting to know him, so we're starting to build up a little bit of a rapport and stuff. But he's into the anime, and I haven't got a clue. Like I'm so clueless when it comes to that. And he's going on about this and that, and I'm just kind of like, and it just the excitement and his face, and it's just building, and it's like this is the best thing ever because he's opening up about this, which a lot of the times they won't.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this is really cool. I need to know more.
Yeah. It's
you
nice.
know what? That is so cool what you're doing. I have to say, you know what? Congratulations, Dave. I love what you're doing. Helping. It's we need more people like you to do that.
For sure.
And you two, Gus, Ben, you're wanting to learn. I love this, and this is what this is all about for me too. Is spreading some knowledge so people can understand instead of judging, right? One of the things too with autistic people is I have some friends who are LGBTQ. Some are gay and some are trans. And we have a connection in both these communities about when it comes to the bullying and masking. A lot of people who are trans or gay, they would mask that. Right? Growing up, they'd be bullied. So we share that common trait of masking is one of the things we share. So when we get together and chat, we really get along really well, and we understand each other on that point. One of my close personal friends is trans, and I would never, judge her on anything because when we speak about the stuff we went through is like, man, the similarities are incredible when it comes to that aspect of masking. No one understands an autistic masker more than someone who has been in the closet, we'll say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
true.
a fact.
Totally.
It's very true.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does.
We ask everybody that comes on our show a question at the end. So we discuss music, obviously. So the 80s decade of music or the 90s decade of music?
I'm an 80s kid.
Figured.
80s for sure.
Boom.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's been like the Dawg and Johnny show anyway.
Yes, sir.
You know
Why do you
what?
think-
You bring on the Boston and the Jay Giles band, and oh my goodness, that's just bring it on, man.
Yeah. That's both. I like them both. I mean, I'm just saying, it's nothing against the 80s. I just prefer the 90s. I'm younger though, so I got that on
I
you
got
guys.
nothing against the 90s. There's great rock music and great alternative music in the 90s, man. Like, there was some great stuff. But I love the 80s stuff, too. To me, it's just, there's something about it it's a special era, just like the 70s.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's but that's why we don't bring up the 70s or the 60s, because we all agree.
No.
We all agree. So
Yeah, but we don't disagree about the 80s and 90s. Like,
yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
No.
I hate the 90s. No, I don't.
What? Come on.
I do not. Gus is a big hip hop fan, and I'm a big country. I love the 90s
I
country.
like all music.
Okay.
Like all music, but the best hip hop
You're into
is
the
in
Garth
90s.
Brooks, and that's your thing.
Oh, he's a huge
I
Garth
figured,
Brooks guy.
yeah.
Garth, and and we talked about this earlier. Tracy Lawrence, Tracy Bird,
Okay.
George Strait. One of my favorites, Radney Foster, is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I could go on and on and on.
But what about you, Gus? Who are your hip hop bands or groups? We'll call them.
Tribe Called Quest.
I wanted to answer that for you.
I love Nas. I love
Okay.
Biggie, Tupac. Those are all big ones for me. I love Wu-Tang's like the best.
Yeah.
But
They're
then
big,
I love the 90s also for the Nirvanas, the Alice in Chains is one of my favorite bands.
Oh, I like Alice in Chains, man. They're
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
They got
So-
some really good stuff.
That's where I go when I think about music. I actually posted something today about like you get your biggest music love when you're like 14.
That's
and that's when
about right. Yeah.
And then so I had a lot of stuff in 1994 that came out that I was all about. So
You know what? For me, it would have been 1986, I think it was. And I think my favorite album then, I was about 14. No, it would have been... no, it would have been 12, sorry.
Mhm.
When Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet came out. That was, for me, that was like...
it's a good
That
one.
whole album was just amazing for me.
Bon Jovi.
Meh.
Yeah, I know you're not a big Bon Jovi guy. Yeah.
But you see, I look at things a little differently, right? I'm a musician. I look at the musicianship of everything, right? And again, I don't think anyone's bad, but I go deeper and go, I want to hear what this drummer's doing. And sometimes, like AC/DC, their drummer, there's no way I could do what he's doing for 40 years. I just can't. It's so simple, right? It's simple, yet to me, I get bored doing it,
Mhm.
right? That's why I like playing all sorts of stuff. So
Well, that's probably why you lean towards the progressive rock too, because they experiment,
Yep.
right? They're doing
Yeah.
things outside the norms. Like
Yep.
we go back to ELP, who would take classical albums and turn them and do their interpretation of that album.
Yep. That's cool. I like that stuff. Yep.
Mhm.
Hey, Gus, go look up the Fat Boys.
I love the
You
Fat
might
Boys.
like that.
Love the Fat Boys. I
Sure.
just played it today.
You know what's funny? Because we were just playing that before.
The Beach Boys and the Fat, Boys.
I think that was a post from you, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
You showed it to me
really?
and
I was
like,
going to say, if you
Dog's
love
like-
hip hop,
'cause Dog-
man, you're going to love these guys.
Yeah, I love the Fat Boys.
Mhm.
The dog was just like that. Beach Boys never played.
They never did.
What was it again?
Wipeout.
Wipeout. Yeah, but then they did it
Well,
with the Fat Boys.
they did a rendition of Wipeout, but the Safaris did it. But yeah,
Well, there was two. There was the Safaris, and there was somebody else that did two different versions of Wipeout.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Well,
But yeah, it was just funny that we were just chatting about that.
Tell us. Okay, so January 28th, the 27th. Sorry, till the
January 27th.
Launch party.
At the Brass Monkey, the launch party starts at 7 p.m. Between 4 and 7 is a meet and greet. So anybody who wants to come out and, talk and ask me questions and, meet me, and all my team is going to be there. And the media will be there too. So we're doing a press release. Come on out. And then January 28th at 7 p.m., the clock officially starts the drumming. And I'm going to do it for, 100 million hours.
100 million.
It's just, don't even look at the time. Just
No,
keep grinding.
No, that's the last thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
We're really excited for you. We're pulling for you for sure.
I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, we'll stay with us for a minute, and thanks for joining us.
No, thank you.
Dawg and Gus, Dawg and Gus, Dawg and Gus.